Hello and welcome to our Year with the Ears, our daily vlog where we relive our year living in the Walt Disney World resorts in 2019. Today is day 79.
Today is yet another moving day. We are checking out of our room here at Beach Club and we're going all the way over to All-Star Sports. So kind of a little bit of a step down in rooms, but eventually it had to happen, right? Like you can't stay at Deluxe all the time. If we're going to stay in the values, eventually it's going to happen. And it's spring break. It's the most expensive season of the year besides Christmas and New Year's. So we're going to stay in the values because it's a lot better to do that than stay in a Deluxe when the price gets so high for that peak season. So we packed everything up in the room, took our smaller suitcases with us down to the car, and had Bell Services take our larger bags and transfer them for us. We headed straight over to All-Star Sports to get checked in, and unfortunately our room was not ready yet, and that's fine. We didn't expect it to be, but it's always nice when it is. So we sat there in the food court for the afternoon and got on the Wi-Fi and just started working from the food court with our other bags kind of sitting around us. We don't have the ones that were transferred, obviously, but we had our smaller ones with us, and as soon as we get that text, we'll go get checked into the room. So we got a lot of work done that afternoon, and we had leftover pizza because we had that late night trip over to the Boardwalk pizza window last night. So we heated that up in the microwave that's available there in the food court and ate while we were working. And then around 3 o'clock or so, they texted us that our room was ready. So we went over to our room. It was a standard view room this time. They have just standard and preferred as the categories there at All Stars. So we went to the room, did pictures of the room and 360 pictures, and then also did our room tour live on Facebook. This is the baseball area. So we do have baseball theming throughout, like the Donald over there on the wall playing baseball, which we really thought was kind of a cool picture. We have the old school Mickey Mouse table, which I still love. I really do. I think that's an awesome table. And as usual, if you'd like to watch that entire room tour, it is linked down in the description below and up above. Now that we're in the room, we did continue working in the room there until about 7 o'clock, and then we stopped because we have plans tonight.
And we didn't have dinner yet because we are going to have dinner later. Tonight is the Hollywood Studios Moonlight Magic event, and we are so excited. We had such a great time at the Magic Kingdom one. We cannot wait to go to Hollywood Studios. We don't know who we're going to see as far as characters or what we're going to do, but we know it's going to be an awesome time no matter what.
Yeah, Moonlight Magic became immediately one of our favorite things to do when we went to the one at Magic Kingdom. And since we have the one at Hollywood Studios, and we know we already have the one coming up at Epcot as well, and we have several others we want to try to go to this year, I'm really looking forward to seeing how they're different from each other and also similar with different characters and things.
So around 7:45, we headed up to the bus stop and got on the bus. And lo and behold, we were again the only ones on the bus heading to the park to go to Moonlight Magic. Apparently, we just have that effect on people. Nobody wants to ride on the bus with us.
I mean, I think part of it is we were staying at an all-star resort for a DVC event. Most of the time, DVC members are going to be staying at a DVC resort.
Makes sense.
But it's not required for you to be at a DVC resort to get your Moonlight Magic tickets. So, I mean, it kind of worked out for us.
When we got to Hollywood Studios, we were pleasantly surprised to find that we were actually dropped off near the front at the brand new bus stops. We found out from the bus driver that they actually opened them yesterday. So this is our first time seeing them. And of course, they look squeaky clean and they look so good. We had to take a picture. Now,
for those who may not remember, the bus stops at Hollywood Studios used to be really close to the front. But then they closed them and we're building a Skyliner station there. Skyliner's not open yet, but they are doing a lot of construction. So temporarily, all the bus stops were very far away. It seemed like a 3-mile walk whenever we had to walk it at the end of the day. Morning wasn't so bad, but when you came out of the park and you wanted to get back to your hotel, it was a really long walk. Thankfully, though, now these brand new stations are open. They are much closer than we've had to walk so far this year, so we were very, very grateful for that.
Yes, we were. So we made our way to the front of the park, got all checked in, and we were given our free meal vouchers. Now, for Moonlight Magic, every guest gets a free meal voucher for a quick service meal. You get a meal and a drink. So we were super excited. We had several options we could choose from, and of course, we couldn't decide on which one we wanted to go to. So we compromised and decided that we'll each get our own meal at a different location. Now, before we go get our food, we have to make a stop to get the event merchandise because Robert did not get the shirt he wanted at the last Moonlight Magic event. He's still bitter about this.
To this day, still a little bitter.
Can you tell?
Just
Can
a
you
little.
tell?
And it's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. I learned. It was a learning experience. Always get the merchandise first, especially at a special event like this where it may be limited and you can't get it another day. So we got here early just for the purpose of getting that merchandise and trying to eat before the party actually started, and we got to go see characters and stuff. So we stopped in the store and asked where the Moonlight Magic merchandise was. They pointed us in the right direction. Turns out they had a shirt and they also had a cup. They did not have a hat this time, which I was insanely disappointed by because I love hats. I have my Magic Kingdom hat. I thought it'd be great to get one from Hollywood Studios. And it had Slinky Dog as the logo there this time. So I was like, oh, I had Goofy. Now I could have Slinky, some of my favorite characters. But no hat. That's okay. I got the shirt and I got the cup. So at least I got something from the event, and now we can go eat.
All right, so we decided to head to where I wanted first, and I really wanted tamales. So I went to Fairfax Fair, and apparently so did everyone else that was attending the event because we had a very long line. Robert was sweet enough to wait for me because I had my heart set on tamales. It's what I really wanted. So we waited in the line. I used my meal voucher for my free meal and drink, and then we started making our way over to Backlot Express, but this was about the time that the Star Wars A Galactic Spectacular was happening, so we had to stop for that because we haven't seen this very many times actually, which is unusual because you're such a big Star Wars fan.
Well, I really love Phantasmic, and so that's typically what I'm going to choose if I have to choose between the two, which I do because they always schedule them at the same time. I know it's to disperse the crowd, but still, I'd like to see both in a night sometimes, you know? Anyway, we didn't do Phantasmic this time. For one thing, that's a longer show, and for another thing, we weren't really trying to watch one of the shows. We just happened upon it as we were walking over towards my food. Now, we did watch the show. It only lasted a couple minutes there, and as soon as it was over, it was time for the party to start. So we started walking over towards Backlot Express, and then right there to the right, there's a theater that's now the Mickey Shorts Theater. It used to be Sounds Dangerous, and then after Sounds Dangerous, it was the Path of the Jedi. But at the time, there was nothing in there, and in the exit area, this kind of big room they actually had Lotso Bear in there from Toy Story 3. We got to get pictures with him. Melissa gave him a hug, and yes, he does smell like strawberries.
He did.
It's a little bit weird, but kind of cool at the same time.
And he was really soft.
He was huge and fluffy and soft, and there was no line. That was also a great thing because we don't want to stand in too many lines except for the characters we really, really want to see. So we kept going over to Backlot Express where I could get what I wanted, and as we got closer, we saw there was a line forming outside Star Tours for a character there, and it was Darth Maul. I was so excited when I saw that because on the map it just said Star Wars character. It didn't say who it was going to be. So when we saw it was Darth Maul, Alyssa immediately got in line to hold a spot because it's a pretty long line already. I went inside Backlot Express and ordered my food. I got the cheeseburger with pulled pork on top. That was what I was wanting. So I went over there and got that. I got a seat inside right by the door where I could see out the door and see where she was in line. So when she got closer to the front, I could jump up and go out there and toss my food if I wasn't done yet or take it with me, whatever I want to do. Thankfully, I was able to eat most of it before she got up too close in the line that I couldn't join her. I was able to go over there and join up and then meet Darth Maul, which was such a cool experience.
I think he means creepy. It's very creepy.
He's terrifying. He is so amazing to meet, though. Although he doesn't speak, he just stares.
He doesn't
and
have
points
to.
And
he stares into your soul.
Very intimidating.
His eyes were yellow. And he was so scary. Like, taking pictures of him from the line was really awesome. And then you put all your stuff down, you go to take a picture with him, and I was like, oh.
Yeah,
it was so scary.
I'm not sure who's scarier, him or someone like Darth Vader. Darth Vader's very intimidating because he's big and bulky with his mechanical suit and everything, but you can see Darth Maul's eyes, so he just kind of stares into your soul.
It made for awesome pictures, but it was so terrifying because he would just kind of circle you and just stare you down, doesn't say a word, and you're like, I mean, oof. He was very scary, and apparently when I'm afraid I laugh, so I guess that happens because I just couldn't stop laughing the whole time, and he just kept glaring at me. I was like, awesome, this is fantastic.
So once we were done meeting Darth Maul, we walked down the hill over to where the entrance of Galaxy's Edge is going to be. They've got a big poster up there, and they did have a couple stormtroopers down there you could take pictures with. So we grabbed some pictures with the stormtroopers, and then on our way back out of that area, we saw a booth that had Mickey bars.
Woo!
So let's go ahead and stop and get a Mickey bar. Why not? Because, you know, we get unlimited Mickey bars while we're here. I take that as a personal challenge to eat as many Mickey bars as possible.
He really does. And while he got the Mickey ice cream bar, I got the strawberry popsicles, and I love them. They're very refreshing. They're not very heavy and not too sweet, and they're all natural, which I really like about that. As we were enjoying our ice cream, we noticed that there was actually a place we could take pictures with Mickey and Minnie. So we headed that way. We're still eating our ice cream, and so it was actually a really good use of our time because we get to enjoy the ice cream while we're waiting in line. We did finish the ice cream way before the line was done because we did not realize how long this line was.
Yeah, it was one of those that looked really short, but then once you get in the line, you realize it's not moving, and that's not good. If we knew it was going to be that long, we would have left the line and gone to something else. But now at this point, you've been in it long enough.
You've committed.
When do you cut your losses? You know what I mean? It's that hard math you have to do when you're at one of these events. So we ultimately decided to wait and go in there. It's where Sorcerer Mickey normally is, but he actually wasn't in there. It was some really cool props from Fantasia. That was
And I was
kinda
really
cool.
excited because I love props. So we had a lot of fun. We got to take several pictures in there. And then we kept going, and to our surprise, it was Hollywood Mickey and Minnie. And I love Minnie in her cute little dress anyway, but Mickey all dressed up and dapper next to her. Awesome pictures. I am really glad we waited for this one. We just didn't know we wanted to wait for this one while we were in the line.
Exactly.
But I am glad we have the pictures from it. Once we finished taking pictures there, we started making our way out and realized we could hear some music. And I'm all about a good party. So we made our way towards the music, and the DJ was out. He was having a great time jamming with everyone. Cast members and guests were having an awesome time dancing and just having a great time. But my favorite part of this were the characters that were out.
Yep.
Some of my childhood favorites, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, were here, and they were trying so hard to join the party with the dance moves. And I'm not sure how well they did, but it made for some great moments because Dale was kind of struggling with his moves. I'm not sure he knew what he was supposed to be doing out there. Chip, however, decided to take cues from some of the other cast members and shake those hips, and it made for the funniest moment ever. I loved it.
It was so fun to watch them dancing around. And I was excited too because some of my childhood favorites were there. Max was out there dancing, as was Goofy, and Goofy had his nice Hollywood producer outfit on.
He did.
You don't see him like that all the time, so it was kind of cool. But seeing some of our favorite characters out there dancing was really, really awesome. Now this was over by the Chinese Theater right there at the front of the park. We are actually working our way over onto Sunset Boulevard right behind Starbucks because that's where they're doing the executive meetup. They have some executives come in from Disney Vacation Club, and you can meet them there. You can ask them questions, give them feedback, and just chat with them for a few minutes. And we always want to try and do that because it's just cool to meet the different people, and there's always different people at each event. So it was kind of fun to go over there and talk with them for a couple minutes, but we didn't stay too long because we're here to see the characters. That's why we're really here. So we started working our way back over to Launch Bay where there's some more Star Wars characters I'm super excited about seeing. And on the way, I saw something else I was super excited about seeing. A cart that has free Mickey bars. So I stopped and got a Mickey bar. And then we kept going over towards Launch Bay.
Before we made it into Launch Bay, we actually saw this little sign off to the side, and there weren't many guests around. There weren't really cast members around. So we stopped to read what it said just so we know, and it was by Disney Junior. So we're reading it, and it says, you can sign a piece of the new Riviera Resort. What?
Okay.
I need more information about this. So we walked inside. We were the only ones in there besides cast members. So we asked what this was, and they said, oh, we have a piece of drywall here that any guest who's here can sign. It's a special thing for DVC members. You can actually sign a piece of Riviera, and this will get put up in the resort. Oh my goodness, yes, I want to be a part of this.
So we both signed the piece of drywall and of course took pictures of it and took pictures with it. And somewhere in the Riviera Resort is a piece of drywall that has our names written on the back of it.
Along with the hashtag Year with the Ears. So that was actually really exciting that we got to do that.
Yeah, we saw the picture. It was kind of like, oh yeah, I forgot all about doing that. It's kind of cool that we've stayed at Riviera and our name is there somewhere. So heading into Launch Bay, the very first line that we got in was the one for Darth Vader because he's not normally there and we definitely want to get a picture with him. And so did everybody else because he was the one that had the longest line. Of course, it always happens that way. So we got in line for Darth Vader, eventually got up to meet him, and just like Darth Maul, very, very intimidating. I still say Darth Maul was scarier because you can see his eyes.
He was definitely scarier.
Vader was pretty terrifying, but Maul just a little bit more with those eyes. That's what does it. And then once we left seeing Darth Vader, we went over to go see Captain Phasma, which was another cool character we got to see there.
He was really excited about this.
Hardly any line, and I was like, okay, this is great. And had a really great interaction with Phasma. I guess as great as you can have with a First Order Stormtrooper commander, but whatever, that's fine. Then when we walked out of seeing Captain Phasma, BB-8 was right next door and had literally nobody in line to see him.
Poor BB-8.
And I thought, you know what? He's there all the time. I get understand why there's no one, but we're here. Why not? Let's go get a picture with BB-8.
We actually felt bad for him, so we did take a picture with him. We actually have quite a few pictures with BB-8, but we took one because he's there and he had no line, which was kind of sad. After taking pictures with BB-8, we went to the character I was most looking forward to, and that was Rey. Chewbacca was with her, and I know Robert was excited about that, but I was here to see Rey. I have dressed completely up so that I can take a picture with Rey. That's why I'm here. So we waited in line. It was not a long line by any means. We got up there and got pictures with Rey and Chewbacca. Rey loved my hair and my getup, which was really fun. And Rey loved seeing my ring especially. I had to show it to her because it is General Organa's ring from the movie. And so that was a really special thing that we had a really nice conversation about and talking about how awesome Princess Leia is. We were all done taking pictures with characters in here, so we were making our way out of Launch Bay, and a Jawa was just walking around out there. So I took a selfie with the Jawa, and there was a photographer out there as well, so we got a couple pictures. And that was a really fun surprise, because that was one we didn't realize was there.
Yeah, and there's no line for it. It's just one of those random things, and I mean, you don't get to see what Jawas often in real life anyway.
I know.
But especially with no line, you don't have to wait to see them. It was great. We have had so much fun seeing all of these unique and special characters. I have loved especially the Star Wars ones. Such a great event, but it's almost over. Thankfully, we have a little more time left.
Just a little bit.
We've seen all the characters we want to see. There's no one left on our list. So we start walking over to Toy Story Land. We're going to try and get in a ride on Slinky Dog Dash before the park closes. On the way there, I saw this booth over to the side that actually had Mickey bars for free. So I stopped and got myself a Mickey bar.
Yeah, so you got another one. But I did get a strawberry popsicle this time too, so I had two tonight. I mean, they're free. You have to take advantage of it while you can, because free is our favorite number.
Yeah, free 99 is the best price every single time. So we kept going with our Mickey bar and popsicle in hand, got over by Slinky Dog Dash. We did see Buzz and Woody out doing a meet and greet, but we didn't stop to see them because we decided we're good. We just want to ride Slinky Dog Dash. Got in the line, which looks like it's going to be about a 15-minute or so wait, nothing too crazy, and decided that since this was the last ride of the night, once we get up there to the front, we should go live on Facebook and live stream our final ride, and then maybe live stream a little bit in the park on the way out.
It was a lot of fun riding Slinky Dog, especially with a not very long wait. We did live stream that and then just slowly made our way out of the park because we're not in a rush. It's the end of the night. Everyone's slowly making their way out as well. Nothing's open any longer, so no more ice cream bars.
Yeah.
But it was still really cool. There weren't a lot of people in the park to begin with throughout the event, but now there's really not a lot of people, and so we just kind of showed that on the video and just had a really enjoyable evening slowly making our way out and finally saying goodbye. We got out to the bus and realized that they didn't have a bus for us because apparently we were the only ones that needed one.
Yep.
So they had to call us a special bus, and we again got to ride on a bus by ourselves with no one else on it.
I mean, like I said,
it's becoming a thing.
I guess nobody is staying at All Stars and going to Moonlight Magic. Who knew? Like, I never would have guessed that.
But it was a really awesome night, and we are exhausted now because it has been such a long day. We got back to the resort a little after 1 o'clock, and we are ready to crash after all that. And that was our day today. So we'll see you tomorrow
For our Year with the Ears.